Welcome back. After discussing dimensionally modeling this last week, we'll talk about the extract, transform, load process this week of our EDMBI solution. As we migrate to a single or a larger database, we'll begin to extract all the data from our smaller databases from our local state government levels in order to bring it inward. And that is where the extract, transform, load process comes into play. That's what we're going to look at today as we begin this journey. Our extract, transform, load process model is going to look very traditional in our process for moving this data. When we talk about ETL versus ELT, there's been a big push lately to move to an extract, load, transform process as we move to big data and as we look at the value of every single piece of data that's ever collected. In our instance, we're going to use a traditional extract, transform, load data model rather than an ELT model. The reason we're moving forward with an ETL model is because we're bringing in all these, what are essentially are as data marts, all these small databases from our local and state governments. We're going to extract all that data out, and we want to transform it so that it matches our dimensions and it matches and conforms to our dimension model in order to make it the most valuable. We're afraid that if we simply extract, load, and then transform, we may have a data conformity issue that pops up later with any possible data that's in there that does not get transformed or gets overlooked. So we're going to move forward with an ETL model in this instance, transform it, then we're going to load it into our big data solution, which if you remember from our previous conversations, we're going to move forward with an SAP HANA solution. And finally load it into our analytical database after moving it from our big data and our data warehouse solution. And then finally, once it's in our analytical database and our BI solutions, we can move forward with our analysis. So again, we're going to move forward with a traditional ETL model, choosing that over its recent competitor, the ELT model. As we looked at our proposed dimension model, if you remember, we had previously looked at our rough draft of our dimensional model, and this is just drilling it down a little bit more into those very specifics. So our overall transactional record is that aid provided, and we get into our customer identifier, our time in a date and time 24-hour stamp. We want to look at our data and where it's coming from. So we're looking at zip code the aid was received in, as well as our customer or patient's home zip code. We're of course looking at our agency with its unique agency identifier, our individual provider who's providing that care, and their employee ID number would be the best way to track that. The type of aid received and the aid type ID is going to be how we track that. Moving forward from our proposed dimension model, we have to look at our business requirements. In order to gather our business requirements, we are going to begin those discussions with all of our stakeholders at the state and local government and bring in our emergency management partners and see what they need and what we can do. These are what we project these answers to be. So as we run down our list of 10 different questions, we really just project these answers to be. If you look at our key topics, these are the topics we expect to be the most important as we roll out both this solution and our EDMBI solution as a whole. And we're looking at those key topics to be the business needs, the data quality, the data integration, the BI delivery interfaces, the available skills, and the legacy licenses. And we expect 3 of those areas to be major challenge areas, and that is the data integration, the available skills, and the legacy licenses. And the reason why we're looking at those areas is data integration, bringing in all of those different databases. Available skills, we don't expect to have the available skills to build this ETL program, to build a database through programming. So we're going to have to most likely buy through a vendor, and that's what we've chosen to move forward with. And then finally, our legacy licenses. We expect a lot of these organizations to hold on to their legacy licenses and want to maintain those products. And that might run us into some ETL program capability hindrances where we might not have the full realization of what these programs can do based on making sure that they can talk to these legacy licenses. So those are our three biggest challenges that we project in the business requirements area. As we talk about modeling tools and data profiling tools, these are tools we're going to vendor out in order to better facilitate our solution. So our modeling tool is going to assist us in creating models from our previous systems that are going to be migrated during the ETL program. And it's also going to assist in generating our forward-thinking models so that we can maximize the effectiveness of our program. It should help us really visualize both our ETL process as well as our future data warehouses and what that solution is going to look like. And we've chosen our vendor as Aquafold. They have a great solution that talks to SAP HANA, and we believe that's going to be the best solution for us. When we talk about profiling, we're going to move forward with an SAP solution as well, so that way we can make sure it talks perfectly with our SAP HANA solution. And profiling is just that enhanced data quality, accuracy, integrity by looking at the proactive governance. So following those trends in our data and seeing if trending goes off or if our insights are off, then at what level did they go off from the norm in order to see if something happened to our data, if our data had become corrupted at some stage in the ETL process. And finally, data governance. When we look at data governance as a whole, we're looking at the protection of the accuracy, integrity, proper use, and cleanliness of our data so that we can make sure when we make decisions based on our data, those decisions are going to be correct and they're going to be data-determined decisions and data-minded decisions versus using bad data, which could result in loss or unnecessary cost. Infosys has done a great job sharing their thoughts on the importance of data governance, and I think that they put it in an absolute great set of terms. So we're looking for that stronger and effective data governance policies so that we can be more reliable. We want to be able to trace that data from end to end, from transactional record all the way to analysis, so we can determine if something went wrong. And then also make sure we have that robust quality controls across the entire data lifecycle. And those key benefits being that accountability of data, being the ability to be agile as a business based on strong data, and having stronger insights because that data is correct. Thank you for joining us today for our ETL discussion. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can see my references here. And we look forward to completing this program and completing and implementing our EDM BI solution so that we can help as many people as possible. Thank you.